All right, welcome to The Explainer. So every business on the planet wants to grow, right? But what if the cash you need to do it isn't out there somewhere? What if it's already inside your company, just kind of hidden in plain sight? Today, we are deconstructing a really fascinating model that's all about finding that hidden capital and turning it into actual fuel for growth. Let's get into it.
So here's our roadmap. First, we're going to hunt down where profit usually leaks from a business. It's not where you think. Then we'll unpack the solution, this idea of a curated marketplace, and the two different ways you can use it to grow. We'll also peek behind the curtain at the secret sauce that really makes it all work, and then wrap up by figuring out exactly who this model is perfect for.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a problem that literally every single organization faces. I don't care if you're a tiny startup or a Fortune 500 giant. Profit leakage.
Now, you might be thinking this is about, bad management or a company that's in trouble, but it's not. This is about the crazy complexity of just doing business today. Even the most buttoned-up, successful companies have these little blind spots where money just silently slips away. So the real question is, where are those cracks?
Well, it turns out profit loves to hide in some really ordinary places. I'm talking about things like your back-end operations just being a little clunky. Or maybe that expensive tech stack isn't quite living up to the hype. Or think about the money side, getting overcharged on vendor contracts, paying for software licenses nobody's even using, or just not optimizing your utility and telecom bills. By themselves, each one seems kind of small. But add them all up, it's a massive, silent drain on your capital.
So, if you know where the leaks are, the next logical question is, how do you plug them? And that brings us right to the core solution we're talking about today, this idea of a curated profit marketplace.
Okay, so think of this profit marketplace model kind of like a one-stop shop for making your business better. It's this hand-picked collection of services, everything from super deep-dive financial audits to tools that can literally accelerate your sales, and it's all managed by one single strategic partner. The real goal here isn't just about cutting a few costs. It's about building a much stronger, more profitable engine for your business.
And that word guided is absolutely crucial. This is not about someone handing you a confusing menu with 60 different options and saying, good luck. The whole idea is to have one expert, a strategist, who actually gets your goals and helps you navigate everything, making sure you're always focused on the things that are going to make the biggest difference.
So how does this whole thing actually work in the real world? Let's pop the hood. The model is really built around two very distinct, proven paths a business can take to seriously boost its bottom line.
You basically have two choices. Path number one is all about finding money before you spend it. You run audits, uncover hidden savings, and then you use that newfound cash to pay for your big growth projects. Path two is for businesses that already have capital and know exactly where they want to aim it. They can jump right into investing in powerful solutions for things like sales or operations.
Let's walk through that first path, the find and reinvest method. It starts pretty simple. You choose from a whole menu of different audit programs. Then, specialized partners do all the heavy lifting to find you savings. And here is the absolute best part. A lot of this is done with zero upfront cost. You only pay a percentage of the savings they actually find and verify. Then, you take that new cash and you plow it right back into the business to grow faster. It's brilliant.
Now, path two is much more direct. This one starts with a conversation to nail down your single biggest opportunity. What's the one thing that would change the game for you? From there, you pick a targeted solution. Maybe it's AI-powered marketing or a slick new automation tool. And through the whole thing, your strategist is there, overseeing the rollout and tracking the results to make sure you get what you paid for.
Okay, this all sounds pretty incredible, but I bet there's a big question nagging you. Who is actually doing all of this highly specialized work? Well, that brings us to the secret sauce that makes this whole model so effective.
The entire system runs on what are called white-labeled partners. So these are best-in-class companies that are absolute experts in one specific thing, like telecom audits or sales process design. They're the ones performing the service behind the scenes, while your single point of contact, that strategist, manages the whole process for you. So you get world-class expertise without the headache of trying to manage a dozen different vendors.
And listen, these partners are not just chosen at random. They go through a really tough vetting process. They have to have a long, proven track record of real-world success. They need to show a history of getting measurable results for clients. But it's more than that. Their process has to be smooth. They've got to be organized, responsive, and just committed to doing things the right way.
So we've got the what, we've got the how. Now let's talk about the who. Who is this kind of profit marketplace actually built for?
Well, it's really tailor-made for the C-suite, but each role gets something different out of it.
For a CEO, this is a way to fuel serious growth without having to go find new budget. It's a strategic advantage. For a COO, it's all about making operations leaner, fixing those nagging inefficiencies and building systems that can actually scale. And for a CFO, it's the holy grail, optimizing costs and funding growth with a clear, measurable ROI.
But it's not just for corporate leaders. Think about it. Private equity firms can use this to boost the value across their whole portfolio. Consultants can tap into it to bring proven, ready-made solutions to their own clients. Even nonprofits can use this to find and reclaim precious funds to pour back into their mission. The applications are huge.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. This whole model is about unlocking the potential that's already sitting right there inside a business. So it leaves us all with a pretty powerful question to think about. If you found a big chunk of hidden money in your business, what would you build with it?